Alright, welcome back to another tier ranking, and today we're actually going to cover the Samurai Warriors series. Now, I did a video on Dynasty Warriors, and I did a video on Dynasty Warriors Empires, and I do want to do a video on more spin-off series, because I really love some of them, and I'll probably just do this series themselves, because there's so many games, but I'll do like Fire Emblem, and Dynasty Warriors Gundam, and Warriors, One Piece, and so on. So I do want to do all those, but in one big video. But Samurai Warriors is, outside of Warriors Orochi, is probably the biggest spin-off in terms of like legit being its own series. And Samurai Warriors came out in 2004, I believe. So I was about 15 when this came out, and it was big for me because I was such a big Dynasty Warriors fan at this point, and now you have Samurai in it, and that's like, you're just selling me gold here. And so I wanted to talk about Samurai Warriors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I know there was a 4-2, but I didn't play it, and it's like 40 bucks on Steam. Probably cheaper when it's on sale, but fuck it. Let's just do the ones that I did play, which are the main 4. So Samurai Warriors had a lot of good going for it, and I just want to point out a couple of things that I remember that I liked. One was it was more character focused, which I enjoyed. So it was individual stories through the character versus that big like centric story, which they kind of do in some of the later titles, which I'm not sometimes a big fan of. I kind of like just playing a character and getting their story, so I enjoyed that, and I just enjoyed the overall more darker feel that this game provided. Whereas Dynasty Warriors still had kind of the goofiness and cheesiness, this definitely had more focus on seriousness. Now, outside of the look and the story, one other thing I liked with the gameplay was that I found it was a little bit more challenging, but balanced pretty well. One of the highlights I thought was when you do your Mushu attack, it really looks cool. It's like the slowdown effect. All of that's really awesome. And so, you know, it's not revolutionizing the gameplay style. It's still a Warriors game, so it feels like pretty much all of them, but it definitely had its own unique twist on things that made it different. It had these like ninja paths, so the exploration was a little bit more. Things like that kind of set it apart. Now, as much as I think it's cool to have these character stories, if we're going to go like the overall plot, Dynasty Warriors has a lot of rich history it takes from. Now, not all of it's obviously real. Some of it is emphasized for effect, but here, the plot, like I was trying to recall it the other day, and I remember certain like character moments. Again, we're talking about, you know, 20 years ago, but I just couldn't remember the plot. And then I looked it up online just to read like a Wikipedia what the plot was. And yeah, it's nothing to write home about, let's be honest. So the plot was okay. The repetitive gameplay is something that this genre just has. There's really nothing you could do about it. That's what a Mushu game is. Beat the shit out of 1,000 people. And let me just tell you, it's beautiful when they all just twirly, whirly, whirly and die. But I gotta say, the castle stages, like, literally cemented in my brain how much I fucking dislike them. They're so repetitive and boring most of the time. So it really kind of took away the fun factor, which I think is fixed in some of the later games. But where would I rank Samurai Warriors? You know, I had a really hard time judging where I'd put this, because I want to put it in, like, low, pretty great. But I honestly think it's more in the okay, but, like, high. Because it doesn't revolutionize things. It doesn't introduce that much new. It has a cool aesthetic, and it has pretty cool characters, but the gameplay didn't really push its boundaries to set it apart much from like Dynasty Warriors main games. So I think I'm going to put it in high okay. I think it's still good. It would be like a 7, 7.5 out of 10, but I can't quite put it like in the 8 area for me. I just can't. All right, now Samurai Warriors 2. Let me tell you right now, if we're talking about like all the Warriors games, all of them, Samurai Warriors 2 is up there, baby. It's up there. Up there. I'm talking about all spin-offs, all reboots. Samurai Warriors 2 is some fucking good shit. Now, why is it good? Like, why is it so much better than 1? Well, I'm going to tell you, it literally improves on everything from 1. Everything. So what I was talking about with the cool designs, it's better in this game. It looks better, has more vibrant colors, and it's still a PS2 game, yet it still looks pretty damn good. On top of that, the levels are bigger. There's a ton of characters. I mean, a ton more than the first game. It just decided, let's go bigger, badder, but in the best way possible. That's exactly what we wanted as Samurai Warrior fans. This introduced, like, the special attack. So instead of just having, like, a regular, like, arrow throw or something for the first one, now the characters have special special moves, and that sets it apart. Like, we're thinking now that's common, you know, you play the new games like Dynasty Warriors Origins or even Dynasty Warriors 8. Yeah, we get all that. But, like, back then, this was like, oh shit, now the characters feel different, and that's really freaking cool. I love that each character kind of had its own move set of special moves outside of their Mushu, which is also its own unique move. And while I don't think it's obviously as good as like Origins counter system, there's a counter system in this game that actually is pretty solid. You got to think from the time period, we weren't really getting that in these games, and now we had it. And they brought up some good challenges from enemies, especially bosses or big enemies. These fights were pretty fucking wicked in this game. And they also had some new modes in there. Shit, I'm fucking forgetting, man. This is what happens when you get old. Don't get old, kids. But I can't remember the name, but it was like a board. And you like travel around it. And it brought the strategic stuff from like empires and stuff, not as detailed, but that was a really cool mode. And there was a mercenaries mode where you like can recruit officers again, feeling that empire feel. This game was just also just polished. Like, I don't remember too many glitches in this game. I'm sure there's a few, but overall, this game just felt fresh. It felt dynamic. It felt like a fully realized game. Like, if Samurai Warriors 1 was the blueprint, this was the fucking masterpiece that they wanted to originally release 2 years prior. So yeah, to me, this is a GOAT status. This is up there with some of the best of the best. Definitely high up there with like Dynasty Warriors like 4 or 5 or Dynasty Warriors Origins for me. I absolutely love this game. Actually, talking about it makes me want to go back and replay this freaking game. Alright, now after talking about the masterpiece that was 2, here comes 3, just shitting on the fucking legacy here. This game is pretty trash. I only played this game maybe like 5-10 hours, and I'll never go back. It was, first off, it was on the Wii, which, shit, man, the Wii was something else, man. But, yeah, this game just lacked everything that was building up in the series. Whereas, you know, Samurai Warriors 2, they came out on PS2, but then they re-released it on Xbox 360 and everything, and it looked better. So I was expecting 3 to look even better, and it looked like trash. It looked worse than fucking Samurai Warriors 2 on Xbox 360. That's just not acceptable to me. On top of that, they had a new castle mode, which was kind of cool, but it was also like a dungeon crawler type feel. I don't like that shit, man. That was just not that fun. Also, I think that just the overall feel of this game feels more sluggish. The FPS sucked in this, like the frame rates. Yeah, the frame rates in here were a mess. I don't remember exactly, but I just remember slowdowns up the ass on this game. And that's like a common thing in Dynasty Warriors older games, but Jesus Christ, like when you have 2 that perfected it on like 360, I was like, what the fuck's happening here? Yeah, just in every way, this game was a step down. If Samurai Warriors 2 fixed everything that made 1 special, I think Samurai Warriors 3 just like threw it away. And so if it's going to throw it away, well, what are we going to do? We're going to throw the fucking game away. So that goes and throw it away because, well, it's a goddamn garbage. Alright, now Samurai Warriors 4 was kind of cool because when it came out, it was 10 years, I think. Yeah, 10 years after the original. Was it 2014 or 15? Fuck, man, my memory. But I remember it was like a pretty big deal. And, you know, now we're talking 10 years, or fucking 11 years later. Jesus, 2014. Yeah, I think that's when it came out. So, yeah, what was great about this game is that it said, oh, let's course correct. Like, Samurai Warriors 3 was definitely in a lot of ways a failure, I think. It literally made me not want to try the next game. The only reason I picked up Samurai Warriors 4 was because people were saying, hey, this is actually pretty good again. And I said, And I like the aesthetic of Samurai Warriors, and I picked it up. I popped it into my system. I think it was on Xbox One or PS4, I forgot which one. And yeah, I had a good time with this. I think it's actually really fun. One of the cool things, they have these new hyper attacks, which makes combat way faster. It looks really cool. They kind of look like Super Saiyan moves because you just like go through hordes of enemies usually. That was really cool. And you can have 2 characters. That kind of reminded me of Warriors Orochi, where you have like a group of characters. Now that could have happened in earlier games, but for some reason I remember in this game as like a standout thing that I liked. The Mushu attacks, again, looked the best they've ever looked. Since Samurai Warriors 3 looked like dog shit, Samurai Warriors 4's much improved graphics made the Mushu attacks look way better. And overall, it had a ton of characters. I just had over 50 fucking characters. I think I played like 20, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like fucking so many. So, yeah, overall, Samurai Warriors 4 is a nice return to the series. It's a nice, like, revamp. There's, of course, some things, you know, the repetitiveness is starting to I think, go on anybody who's played these games this long. You either like this genre or you don't. And I definitely was feeling a little bit. I don't even know if I played more than like 20, 25 hours. These games can go for hundreds of hours. But I do remember my time with it, the 20 to 25 hours I played. I was like, holy shit, this is so much better than Samurai Warriors 3. Now, where would I rate it? I think it's better than 1, but definitely not the GOAT for me. It's not a game. Samurai Warriors 2, I think I put like 100 hours on PS2. I think I put another like 80 on the Xbox 360. So that game is certified banger. Where would I put this? I'm going to put it in pretty great, but it's pretty low, pretty great, because as much as I loved some of it, the repetitiveness, I think this is the game where I was starting to feel it. That can just be the genre, you know, playing it like 15 years at that point, just about. It's starting to get to you. But yeah, overall, a triumphant comeback from this piece of fucking turd shit. Now, Samurai Warriors 5 is kind of an interesting game because a lot of these games have maybe a 2 to 3 year gap, maybe 4. Samurai Warriors 5 from the fourth one, it didn't come out to 2021, so if Samurai Warriors 4 came out in 2014 or even 15, I think it was 14, we're talking about a 5 to 6 year, 7 year gap actually. And you feel it because Samurai Warriors 5 feels like it wanted to bring in new players. It almost feels like a reboot in some ways. And I say that with a lot of good. You know, as someone who's played this franchise for fucking thousands of hours, you know, I'm talking about all the Warriors games, all the Dynasty, all the Samurai, all the Gundams, all the goddamn Berserk, One Piece, all of them, you know. I played them so much that I like when the genre tries something new, and 5 to me was the riskiest. Now, not all of it's great. I think, you know, the voice acting being limited again to Japanese can be effective. I personally like the cheesy English voice acting. Now, none of these games had English voice acting after 2, but, you know, the thing is I like it. And at 2021, I mean, I just expect almost any game to have English voice acting, but it didn't. So that was kind of deterred me from loving, you know, the cheesiness of it. Also, it was more limited. It didn't go as big. It didn't go bigger, better like 4 did. 4 wanted to go bigger, better, like 2 did to 1, 4 did to 3, and just did it better. 5 was like, no, we're just going to do it different. So it had less characters, more story focus. The story was pretty good. I wouldn't say, you know, I'd write home about it and say it's the greatest shit ever, but it's a solid story. Yeah, so 5, where I think it worked was that it looked so much better. It felt like a fresh look to Samurai Warriors. This is the best designs, in my opinion, for the characters. They look fresh, they look new, they look different. The feel of the game looks modern. So all of that's a plus to me. Now, the combat is where I'm kind of 50-50. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it looks and feels good. But at the same time, they have this weapon system where you share weapons between people. And that's like the skill set. And I don't know if I really like that. Yeah, I don't love it. You know, Origins, Dynasty Warriors Origins kind of had that where you use different weapons and it's a different skill set, which is cool because you're playing as one character. Now you got the slew of fucking characters in this game. Not as many as 50 like the last one, but you got a slew, and you just switch weapons and that's how they fight. That kind of sucks a little bit of ballies, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of little testicles. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. I don't know what I'm saying. But the point is, it's like a 50-50 thing because I don't think it's bad, the combat system. I actually have fun with this. I played this game like 30 hours, so I did have a good time playing, but it's kind of like Samurai Warriors 4 and Samurai Warriors 5 are battling. If they combine these games, it would have been the perfect game for me. Where would I rank it? Well, overall, I played Samurai Warriors 5 more, and I always appreciate a more refreshed and rebooted feel to a series. So it's going to go in pretty great, and surprisingly, looking back on it and looking back on the games that I played in this series, it's probably my second favorite. It definitely has problems. I don't want to dismiss the problems that I have with it, but overall, in terms of just fun, I had a lot of fun with 5. And, you know, I think it's like a good like 8 or 8.5 for this series, whereas like 4 is just a very, very good, even low, great 8 out of 10 for me. But yeah, that's my ranking. Again, I didn't play 4-2. I don't know where it lands. I don't know if I'd like it. I don't even know what the fuck it really is. Is it a standalone? Is it like its own game? I don't know. Nor do I really want to play it. So, you know, it's just like I'm kind of done going backwards. I'm going forward with this franchise. But yeah, this is my ranking for these games. Samurai Warriors 2 holds a really special place in my heart because, you know, at the time I was such a big Dynasty Warriors fan. I was a little hesitant to think that a Samurai Warriors game could ever be as good. And as much as I like Samurai Warriors 1, I was just like, well, 4 is better. And then, you know, 5 was fucking great. So when Samurai Warriors 2 came out, I was like, oh, yo, this shit's fucking fire. And I thought, wow, imagine having 2 great games be this good. And then, you know, unfortunately, both of them fumbled the bag. You know, Dynasty Warriors 6 to me is absolutely the worst game in the franchise, and Samurai Warriors 3 is the worst fucking game in the Samurai Warriors franchise. So they both fumble right after their best games. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, overall, this is my ranking. I would love to see your guys' rankings. Put them below. What's your favorite Samurai Warriors? What did you think of this series overall? I think as a spin-off series, it did remarkably well instead of just being a copy-paste and nothing more. I think that it set itself apart. It feels different. It looks different. And even though the gameplay core is still similar, it definitely sets itself apart. And I hope we get a reboot again of Samurai Warriors in vein of Dynasty Warriors Origin, which I think is the best step forward for that franchise. But again, list yours below. I would love to see them. And I hope you guys enjoy. And of course, this is just my opinion. So if you love Samurai Warriors 3, please put it up there. We're going to have fun talking about it. There's no room here to diss people or harass them. So if somebody's an asshole, you're gone. I don't fuck with that. All right. You guys have a good one and enjoy my next video whenever it comes out. Bye.